So there's an escalation of tensions that are taking place in Venezuela right now. Maduro basically has armed a bunch of civilians in the country. And that is also in response to the United States bombing, I think it's 3 boats in the area of the Caribbean that were turning around, that weren't going straight back to Venezuela. They weren't going to the United States, but the United States alleges that they were drug runners that are trying to come to their country. So they bombed them. They killed 17 people so far. And so Maduro has upped the ante, and he is now giving people weapons, regular people weapons, and regular people are now training with militias so that if the United States tried to invade Venezuela, they can do it. They can like defend the motherland, they're saying, right? This is on BBC if you want to read about it. But this is nothing new. Guyana and Venezuela are not at war. It's an unofficial war right now. They're fighting over resources. But everybody who's from the Caribbean knows what the United States did in the 80s, right? This reminds me of like what they did with Cuba and Grenada. You can look this up if you don't know this history, but basically, the United States bombed Grenada. They were afraid of Cuba getting control over this little island called Grenada in the Caribbean. And so they sent like 7,300 troops to this little island. They assassinated some of the leadership of the island and they killed 45 people and like bombed the rest of the island up, dropped bombs on them, invaded the island as well, and like took it over basically. And that's had a lasting effect for years. This was all happening in like 1983. So not too far ago, like 40 years ago. Not like 100 years ago or anything like that, in your lifetime. So, yeah, this could happen. They could be at war with Venezuela pretty soon right now. Especially with like video of these bombings from the United States. And I'm pretty sure that Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth are now having a meeting with all of these military leaders this week in Washington or something like that. What do you think about this? Did you know about the fact that the United States has invaded the Caribbean before? And actually, if you remember last week, I think it was last week, right now, the United States has a bunch of Marines in the Caribbean, stationed in the Caribbean. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's not another Grenada.